All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Monday, April 25th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. A little bit of a lightning round edition here. We have the Phase 2 course continuing on this afternoon, right at 3:05 Eastern Time. Hopefully, I'm coming in loud and clear. I had a little bit of a mic issue before I started. I know that I'm good to go tech-wise, at least on StreamYard. Pardon me there. So for all of us on Facebook Live and YouTube, I appreciate you folks joining me right now. Great to see students of ours like John and Will, Michael and Leda. A pleasure to have all of us right now. So folks, let's hop right to it here heading into this afternoon. I'll be honest, I'm a little unprepared. I don't have my notepad in front of me nor my pen. So I'm going to do this on, I'll do this on a different tab here. All right, so we'll go right from top to bottom. I'm actually in a position right now, and I'll show that in just a second. It's on the top percent gainers list, number one. But for right now, hey, up 23+%. The Veru trade, we had this on our screen right before we started off this meeting. So it's making a nice gradual push back up to the highs. You could see, kind of just broke above the last little peak point, after 1 o'clock Eastern time. Right now it's approaching 14. We covered this stock in the Phase 2 course in the morning class in lesson 1 earlier today. And with that, you know what to watch for in a stock like this trending up heading into the afternoon. So with that in mind, we'll definitely just put that on the watch list to begin. VERU. Trying to lose track of this watch list here. All right, so we'll go right from top to bottom. Otherwise, I may be getting stopped out on this trade here that I'm in right now with a profit, but I ended up moving my stop up on the NKTX trade before we started this meeting, just to, like I just said, ensure to lock up some profit. But it ended up beginning to build support pretty nicely just a moment ago off that 1640 level. It's dropping right back down to it now. This doesn't look good for the remaining parts this afternoon. I was pretty hopeful to see this hold above 1680 over time here throughout this meeting and really begin to push up higher. It could still do that later on today. And for this trade's sake, I'm currently in from 1555. So there we go. I just got stopped out live right now, I reckon. So with that, hey, I'm taking profits, but we have class lined up this afternoon. I wasn't planning on trading in that class exactly, so I wasn't going to hold on for much longer anyway. But with the shake back down at this point, if it's not going to break higher, I would be really careful for this to finally snap back down and like truly tank heading into the afternoon. It was looking good just up until right now. The spread's starting to open up a little bit. And we'll see if it can sling back up. Maybe if it can really begin to bounce from here, although I just got stopped out. I can care less. Today, fortunately for a Monday, has treated us pretty nicely, not just myself, but a lot of us inside the live trading room. So it's to say, like at this point, that was more for like academics, right? So here, we're kind of just seeing this kind of chop around the 1640 level, 1680 level. We ended up seeing a big opening halt print, and we'll talk about that perhaps here on a trade like NKTX in class this afternoon. But when we see a big halt print come out when a stock reopens up off a halt, well, that truly creates resistance. So that was off of 1680. So between 1680 and really 17, the whole number there, that created a really strong top here for this afternoon for this NKTX to try and break above. So I feel happy with this decision to get out. But right now, at least, I'll reluctantly put this on our watch list now. Hopefully it really doesn't tank, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes from here. Ooh. ERYP trying to squeeze up a little bit, up 10 cents up from the bottom here from 2 o'clock Eastern time. Markets are really pushing back up right now heading into the afternoon. A little bit of a recovery. I don't want to say really pushing back up given Friday and Thursday's drop off, right? But, it's good to see a little bit of a higher high here. Hopefully, we show strength heading into this close, heading into tomorrow morning. That's really more important, I believe. All right. Well, there goes ERYP. All right. Well, we move on. It's as simple as that, folks. Reactions, right? So if that's just going to tank right there in front of us, we move on. So Redbox, a stock that we won't move on just from yet, ended up making a really nice breakout shortly after the market opened up. I know Fausto was commenting on that after the open. We didn't have that on the pre-market list, but it pays to be a member inside our live trading room, like Jeffrey and Will, Norman, John, Michael, Leda, all of us inside the trading room now, Nina too, and Jeff. Say on a stock like this ended up breaking out right away. We reacted on it pretty quickly, and we were able to grab a good chunk of the action valuation here, good piece of the pie. So right now it's even trying to squeeze up much higher. So yeah, it goes right on our watch list here. Red box trade, RDBX. More of like a level two stock. Fausto also mentioned that in the morning too, in terms of like, what category of volatility this stock is. We talked about that last week in class in the phase one stock course. But hey, tight spread, really, decent tiers on level two, good volume on level three, order wise. It's starting to pull back right now. But hopefully this could truly build support for the slingshot later on. That other one, the ERYP, ended up kind of like popping in pre-market then tanked. Much different pattern compared to this chart here. So, hopefully this doesn't drop much further, but, really builds back support back around that 4 area here. All right, keep it going. I refilled up my water bottle. Good to go there. Veru already on our list, right? We already talked about the VERU finally re-breaking above 14 live right now. Looks great. SBFM, oh man, I ended up taking a real tiny loss. I would usually actually call it a break-even trade. I took a 2-cent hit. I was in from the 427 price or 429, and then I ended up setting my stop 2 cents under, and that was off the opening bell print. So, again, we talked about that in the morning class today, talking about time and sales, the opening bell print. Well, that was today off of 428, if I'm not mistaken. I got in at 429. I got stopped out at 27. Pretty happy with my decision. Ended up just dropping right back down. I was hopeful to see it really pop, but all right, water break. And then also, how about this, folks? Like quick break across the gainers list right now. The NKTX right now beginning to pop right back on up. It's actually making the hold off of that 1640. Shouldn't have set my stop there, but either way, I'm happy with the profit I got. It was nearly $1. Ended up pushing up right now over 17. So I just want to show you this, folks. So perhaps not as reluctant to put it on our watch list now at this point. Looks really appealing, a lot more appealing now at this point heading into this afternoon. Just has to hold above 1680. 1680 is the key support level at this stage right now. That was the key resistance. Now that becomes key support. It's not even 17. I would say 1680. Shakes below 17, just 1680, and then from there. This might keep going, though. Looks pretty damn strong. All right, so I just wanted to show you this quickly. I had it up on my other screen, obviously, as I was just in the position. So, there's the shake, little shake, 1680. Check back on it just a little bit later on. All right, DOGZ ended up making a nice pop pre-market, made a nice pop after the open, trying to pop back up right now. I don't know. It ended up making such a big drop off from Friday, right? This was the one that we were hopeful to see the squeeze back up from Friday afternoon. We didn't really see as much, but from there, I mean, just continued this morning. So, I don't know. Keep it on your side list. I don't really think much of it here for this afternoon, but, good pop from the morning. All right, we keep it going here, folks. CNN, not a whole lot happening right there as well. Vuzi, this one we've seen make a run or two in the past. It's actually at the highs. I haven't seen this one at all today, so just wanted to click on it, here. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting right now. The only issue is that it's just not really trading a whole lot of volume per minute. It's trading about like 3,000-4,000 shares. I guess that number may be increasing with the last couple of minutes. Hopefully, a lot more volume comes into play here in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes at least over time. But right now, Vuzi, at least I'll put on the watch list. Looks good chart wise. See what else we got across the gainers side. I wouldn't reckon for there to be a whole lot that looks sharp on the way up. You know what I mean? Market's like grinding on up right now. So unless if we see more of a push collectively across the board, I'm not really feeling too many side list stocks, folks. So, if there's anything that looks incredible, type it in the chat board early. Let me know. RKT is at the highs here. It's up over or just at 9%. It's also one that we've done pretty well on. That has been a sideless stock in the past. So I wouldn't mind giving this a look. The RKT trade is trading more volume per minute than the other one, than the Vuzi. All right. And then I think that's pretty much it. So let's just hop on over to the losers list. We'll check back in on the NKTX by the end of it. I saw CRXT tank in pre-market, folks. Just quickly goes to show, what makes the percent gainers list one day typically makes the percent losers list the next. And if it's not the next day after that, it's the day after. And you could even just see from the pop it had back from Thursday last week. It only tailed off from that point, or Wednesday last week that was. But I ended up getting chopped up a small amount on AXSM. I ended up taking a 10-cent loss. Ended up just going in from under 30. I got stopped out right at 30.10. That was a bit earlier, but yeah, right now, perhaps this could be a better opportunity. In hindsight now, looking at this like lower high form here and then a drag back down. I was looking for that to happen a little bit earlier, by like 145 off the snap here, but didn't get it. It's just got a thin order book. So for the price, it's not really moving at all. I don't know what the news is on this stock. It could even be like something to do with the direct offering of shares. If that's the case, then I'm totally out on it. But otherwise, it's not even moving. So I'm going to pass either way. The NAT trade, shortable, actually dropped off really nicely this morning. If you see the 5-minute chart, from like a little pop here at 263 all the way down at 240. That's pretty solid for a $2 stock. You know what I mean? But right now, just too slow. Oh, folks. Oh, folks. All right, let's hop to it. Oh, folks. What happened here so far? Look what's holding. If you want to know why I was so confident about 1680, then for all of us on social media, just go right down to the yellow banner below, the link on the yellow banner below to join us inside our live trading room. Otherwise, join us inside our classes, the Phase 2 stock course. We talked about this, like 3-4 hours ago, folks? Come on. Look at that pop. Anybody in this trade right now? Robert just got out. He had a 40-cent profit, so kudos to him. Nice catch, Robert. I wish I hung on. But I'm certainly content with my day so far. I mean, normally class days actually I don't really trade too much, and normally for Monday I don't trade too much. So this is like pretty exceptional run here. Karen asking, does anyone own Twitter stock? That's also a good question. If anyone owns Twitter on a day trade or a swing trade, just let Karen know here inside our live trading room. But sheesh, folks. 1680, smooth as can be. Now, that's always subject to change. If there's a false breakout and then it comes snapping back down, then I wouldn't really expect for that to hold so nicely as support the next time. But first time's the best time, just like we quote in class. All right, there we go. If there's anything else, folks, type it in the chat board, type it in on YouTube, Facebook Live, or otherwise inside the live trading room. If it was like a bad day altogether for me, I'd be super pissed about getting stopped out when I just did there. But it's honestly, all right, fine. Would have been that much better of a day, but you don't want to get greedy. Kathleen out right now. So, what I always say this, whenever I ask if anyone's in a position, hey, if you don't want to answer right there, you're too focused on your trade. I understand that. Trust me. I know that with asking that question. Kathleen just got out right now. She was in from 1662, took about 77 cents. Excellent. One of our longtime students here, Kathleen. All right, so folks, I don't see anything on social media. I don't see anything inside the live trading room. Otherwise, how about this? I think they were pretty much good. Actually, I'm sorry, Bill. Geez, I didn't mean to skip over your comment there. Twitter halted. Halted? Yeah, it's got to be. Wow. All right, 241. It got halted at 241.25. So perhaps this is the official news coming out. Who knows? I don't have that on me for certain. I could try and check right now on Benzinga Pro briefly. Pretty interesting times here, folks. What a hell of a meeting here we got so far. Jeez, between that first one tanking on us mid kind of consideration, then obviously the NKTX. Lita says Elon finally going to get his way. Perhaps it seems like it now more than ever. All right, really quick. So it says Twitter has not received any acquisition offers from companies or private equity firms as it nears a deal with Elon Musk that will be announced on Monday. So that sounds pretty official. That will be announced on Monday. It's halted now off of news. So add two and two together, folks. I think that we got ourselves a deal. But we don't have the listed price just yet. I think that when it first came out, the rumor at the time, I think that Elon wanted 54, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. I think I'm right, but 54, if that's correct. It could be that. I have no idea otherwise, but I'll add it to our list just because, hey, it's interesting, but we know what happens with the buyout, right? So that's like the issue with like kind of following this into the close because normally off like an official buyout, it's just really flat. It's in a tighter range for a $51 stock, $54 stock, whatever it is. It's not going to be worth it. Please, like, listen to that. You know, I'll put it on our list because it's interesting. It's halted right now. It's not official, but I'm telling you, there's going to be better opportunity on NKTX. There's going to be better opportunity, at least as of now, on Veru, Redbox, maybe RKT and Vuzi, right? I will check out the side list stocks just before we finish up. That NKTX is like blasting off right now over 18. I think it topped off at like 1850 even. AMC, no, this is not worth it. Neo, same thing, not worth it. It's at the highs of the day, but it's just like tight. It's not really, looking that opportunistic for us unless if the roof really blows off this. I mean, yeah, you can envision that, but um, otherwise, I mean, I feel like you could say that with a few different traits here, right? American Airlines lingering around that 20 area in the high of the day. CCL at 1880. So I'm not interested in these folks heading into the afternoon right now. There's not really, much to look at there. Maybe like a CLF perhaps. Now this seems a little bit more, interesting. It's pushing back up really cleanly. So like that's the easiest part about putting a stock like this on our watch list. But ended up ultimately bottoming out around that like 26-25 area, and then made like a $2.50 or maybe like $1.50 move up. So pretty impressive. It's down a lot more than 3.8% from earlier. So you know what? I like this one more than anything. I'm happy I kind of just rummaged through this. But yeah, CLF. This one looks a little bit more, a little bit more volatile of a trade in a good way. Leda asking, is TEL going anywhere? Looks like it's going up. Pretty good call because it's good side list stock that we've been following for the last like month or so. It's not up, that 5%, but neither is CLF down that 5%. So it's like, a pretty interesting trade here. Nice recovery. It already pushed above, well above yesterday or Friday's close. It's actually getting close to the close from Thursday of last week and the open of Friday. You could just see that based off the daily chart. Yeah, I mean, hey, clean trend, really nice. So, alongside the CLF, I feel like this TEL trade will put alongside with it. Just want to take a quick look on a couple of the other stocks here. Maybe like the energy stocks are all kind of like, or like oil energy stocks, all like dead cat bouncing right now. That could be the case. IMPP is actually making a little bit of a squeeze back up here. Oxy. I mean, you tell me. So, yeah, I mean, this Oxy trade looks a little bit more interesting, much like that CLF. So, I may kind of just add like oil stocks to our watch list, here heading into the afternoon, right? I'm sure like a stock like APA, perhaps could be making a nice push. Yeah, it's decent. All right, so I'll feature a couple of these stocks, the CLF, the TEL, the Oxy, and then otherwise I'll kind of just like label oil stocks, tag them all together there, oil energy stocks. All right, folks, for all of us inside the live trading room, Grant, Leda, Michael, Kathleen, Karen, Nina, Robert, for all of us at least that have access to the Phase 2 stock course, just talk to your education advisor. If you don't, or if you don't know if you do or don't, just make sure that you click on the link below that Rich, provided right there in the chat board if you have access at least. And I'll talk to you folks in about 15 or so minutes there. And then for all of us in social media, Facebook Live, YouTube, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. Really quickly, actually, from one of us on YouTube right now asking about the stock Ruby. It dropped off so much from like the last couple of weeks. Pretty interesting trade, right? Because you'd wonder, when is it going to bounce back up? So certainly seems like it has today. It's at the highs of the day right now. I don't know if I skipped over this stock here heading into the afternoon. Maybe I looked at it and it was just really slow and I didn't think much of it. But, decent call right now. Good timing at least. So, yeah, this Ruby I'll kind of feature. Looks good. Appreciate that, Dan on YouTube. All right, so for Dan, for all of us otherwise, if you're interested in joining our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below, like I had mentioned before. Otherwise, any questions that you would like to send over my way personally, feel more than free to do so. Josh@ctutrading.com. That's my handle. Michael says 54.24 is the official buyout price for Twitter. So what if this was like the price is right, then I won, right? I said 54. The answer is 54.24. Technically, I would win, right? I'm not over, right? Used to be my favorite game show. All right, I think then in that case, hey, Twitter's a buyout officially, should that be the case. So, I'm not expecting much of a big volatile move. That's the thing. So, it'll be last on our watch list almost to kind of prove that point. But otherwise, more or less, though, folks, for all of us inside the live trading room, for all of us on YouTube, we'll catch back with you folks tomorrow morning. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.